I am King Richard, aka the God of Rap from Creative Minds Entertainment. That's KME. If you don't know, I swear you know now.
Listen to me. When I talk, I'm not just speaking to hear my own voice. It's profound. It's immaculate. It's impeccable. It's epic. Okay? I'm not talking to hear my own voice. Most of the people on the internet just want to hear their own voice. They want to go viral just so they can be famous and popular and relive high school. That's all. Most people do not say anything of substance when it pertains to anything important in our community. Okay? Now, check out this clip.
As a man, bro, I advise you, bro, go hear your dad's side of the story. I'm not saying he couldn't be fucked up. I'm not saying he couldn't have left you for no reason. I'm not saying that he couldn't have been a bad person. He couldn't have made a mistake, none of that. But I advise you just go hear his side of the story and decide from there. It'll be a dude he want to be in his kid life. Like, he want to be an active father. And you got a baby mom for whatever reason. Maybe she petty about the new girl, trying to teach him a lesson, trying to use it as an opportunity to get more money. Or she could just be a bad person and she kind of used the kid as leverage against the dude, trying to control him, and he got to say and do everything she want, or she gonna take the kid away from him. And I get what y'all saying. Go to court, go to court, go to court. Go look at the percentages on that. And a lot of dudes, it's not even that they don't want to pay child support. They just don't want to give her the money. They don't mind spending a bag on their kids. They just don't want to give you the money.
You have people that are 40, 30, 50, 60, 70 years old still dealing with childhood trauma. Now, most of them don't know it. They tell you when you go to Alcohol Anonymous or any type of rehabilitation drug program that the first step to problem solving or to change is to acknowledge you have a problem. Most people will not do that. They think the first step is to change. That's not realistic. The first step is to acknowledge you have a problem. In our community, we have a huge problem when it pertains to parenting. Yes, there's a huge disconnect across multiple generations. I have a 20-year-old son. That's my oldest child, right? Over years, his mother, even though I was there from the time he was 2 weeks old, because me and his mother, we were dealing with each other, but it wasn't serious, but it was like we were messing off. We knew each other from church. Imagine that. Sinning and winning. And, you know, a baby was made out of that. But at the time, because me and her had went separate ways, when I came back around, I seen a dude hugged up with her while she was like 7, 8 months pregnant. So I assumed the child wasn't mine. I'm just keeping it G. So about 2 weeks after my now son was born, she gave me a call and said, hey, you know, we took a test of the other dude, it ain't his. And I'm like, well, why you telling me? And she was like, I'm saying he's yours. My son was 2 weeks old at this time. I didn't find out he was actually mine till he was like 3+. So from 2 weeks old to 3+, I took care of him. I stepped on up. He looked kind of like some people in my family, kind of looked like me a little bit. Once we got the DNA, and the only reason we got the DNA, for real, I tried to get it multiple times, but she didn't want to do it. A radio show here in Memphis where you can go in, it was called Paternity Test Tuesday. Anybody from Memphis know exactly what I'm talking about, Paternity Test Tuesday. And I was also going to use that to find out if he was really my son or not, and to kind of springboard my rap career, right? She didn't want to do it, kept saying she didn't want to do it. She ended up putting me on child support even though I was taking care of our son. And that's another thing. That's that whole point. My whole point is the system. The way that women are able to manipulate and use the system to their advantage. And the only thing they tell men is, well, you're not fighting hard enough. And it's like, that's the problem right there. We try to insinuate that men are really quitting on their children just because they don't want to be fathers, and that women are doing the best job they can as a mother, when a lot of times that's not even the case. But guess what? We only hear the mother side. But I was never fully allowed access to him. So I would have him, and when I drop him off that weekend, I say I'll come back and get him next weekend. They'll hear me say that. Next week came, they made up an excuse. Oh, he going over to his other family member's house, or he don't want to come, or this, that, and other. That went on for years, but I still continued to power through. Still paying child support. Now I'm like this close away from paying child support at the time of this video. this close. So, to finish paying off the child support. But the point I'm making is that a lot of women are deadbeats. A lot of women are restricting the co-parenting aspect. Once we break up, I should be allowed full access, especially if I'm a good person, a high character. I'm a person that's attentive to the child's needs. I'm safe for the child. My child done told me stuff at 20 years old, 19, 18, 17, even though I've been there the whole time, but it hit and miss because of his mother and grandmother. Those things that happen to you, violence, sexual molestation, none of that stuff ever happened when you was in my presence. And he even said one day, he told me, he was like, man, I knew all this stuff was happening, but I couldn't do nothing about it because I was a kid. So that's why I said no matter what the bond that she tried to break or they tried to break between me and him, it never broke. But that's why it's important for us to get the daddy side too, because listen, last year, 2024, a revelation happened. And my daddy is deceased, so I couldn't get my daddy side. But because my wife is a medium, and my daddy came to her last year, and we did all this research, and we put it in a documentary. As you can see, you can go watch the documentary right now, The Portrait of a King. He came to her and said he didn't kill himself. This wasn't in the documentary, but my wife was able to find out that I had a brother named Marcus. Come to find out, my mother confirmed that, yeah, Marcus was the first child that just his father had. Mind you, my dad had 3 children before with another woman before he had one with my mother. I'm thinking my oldest sister is my oldest sibling. Come to find out she's not. Now, all of this stuff would have went to the graveyard if my father, who was deceased, would have not came to my wife, who was a medium, and then she came to me, and then we went and researched with family. Imagine that type of stuff. And your mama, me and my mama had a real close relationship up until this point, for the most part. We had hit and miss over years, but we had a pretty close relationship. Imagine your mama know all this information and she been sitting around you this whole time. Me and my wife have twins as well. My dad had twins. My mama didn't never tell me that. So imagine your mother sitting out there. This is why it's very important, like he said, for young men, for young women too, to go hear your daddy's side. If not, hear your daddy's side family, somebody. Because mothers, I know we think they angels and we think that women tell the truth about everything, but I'm here to tell you, man, I found out the hard way from a lot of women in my family, former women, current, that women are not as holy as I thought they were. And I was raised to be a simp. I was raised to be a gentleman. I was raised to be, all that. But I had to climb up out of there. So y'all make sure y'all go do y'all research about your father's side of the story, because believe it or not, there are 2 sides to a story, but the truth is the most important. I'll let you.
The booth cubicle many, they sweet, diabetic, beyond nerve I am connected, me and Queen are so committed, kill it all, some a murder, beef with clout, co-I burger,